Welcome to Caribou Country Lifestyle. My name is Cheryl, and today I am going to be doing a mishmash of different things in the garden. I'm going to be picking these onions that I have behind me, and I'm going to be putting them in the back shop so that they can dry out. It's pretty much rained almost every day, and so it's making it a little bit tougher to wait until things dry up to pick things out of the garden. Hopefully it dries up enough when I go to pull my potatoes out of the garden. But the last time I picked my potatoes after it had rained for a good amount of time, the ground wasn't really that saturated, which I have to pick more potatoes. It's the weekend, and of course we're having family over for dinner again tonight. I'm doing a French onion pot roast in the Instant Pot, and it's absolutely wonderful. It is just melts in your mouth. It falls apart. It's just a great recipe that I have found, and I have really enjoyed making it. So I'm going to start by removing these onions. So I have one of these blueberry containers, and I'm just going to end up picking my onions and putting them in here so that these onions didn't get overly big. Like, that's not a very big onion. I think my largest was this one, so compare the size. These are the Walla Walla onions, and usually, historically, these get a lot bigger than this, but like I say, I think I planted them in the wrong spot. This onion's starting to grow more. It had died off, and now it's growing a second set of green on it. So it's not going to take me long to pick these onions. That's for sure. I don't really have that many. I have the Walla Wallas, and then I have some of the red onions. These are the ruby red onions. But, I mean, an onion is an onion. It all tastes the same. Doesn't matter how big it is. It just, these could have gotten a lot bigger if they were in the right spot. Clearly, they weren't in the right spot. And I have one Elsa Craig, and it isn't anywhere near as big as it would normally get. So it won't take me long to pluck these out of the ground. And I have one more here that barely even got going, and I'm picking it out of the ground already. I'll get my tags out. And that's it. That's all I had to do. So we will, oh, I see one more onion here. We will move along. What I'm doing over here is I'm actually going to be digging up my rosemary, and I want to bring this into the house and try and overwinter it. It looks absolutely wonderful. And if I find that I don't think it's doing very well, I will pick it, and then I will just dehydrate it and use it as a dry herb. So I have a pot here, and I'm pretty sure I should be able to fit that in there. Just going to dig around it. It did really well being in this bed. So we'll grab the tag, and I will grab my plant, and what I'll do is I'll put a little bit of soil in the bottom here from my garden, because I will be topping up these beds with new compost. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of soil, and then I'm going to put my rosemary, and I'll just add a little bit of soil around it, and we'll see if we can keep this going in the house. I don't know if any of you have overwintered rosemary, so if you have any helpful tips about overwintering rosemary, please put them in the comments below. It smells absolutely amazing. I love rosemary. Okay. Pack that dirt around it. Didn't disturb the roots, so that's good. And there we go. Another job completed. Put my tag in there, not that I won't know that that's not rosemary, but I'll take that into the house, and here's hoping that this works. I love that two-tone, actually it looks like three tones in that gladiola. You have that burgundy on the tips, goes to a lighter shade of like a peachy pink, and then a cream in the center. That is so pretty. I have a geranium, and I like to dig my geraniums up and overwinter them. I'm just going to remove, I've got chamomile growing in around my geranium, so I'm going to remove all of the chamomile because I don't want to bring that into the house with my geranium. And I will just put it in this pot that I have here right now because it looks like I have quite a bit of chamomile trying to grow in around it. Oh, there's a couple more. And I think I got it all now. Just don't want to bring chamomile. That stuff, it reseeds itself into everything. Okay, so I have, I just need to get a pot, and I'm going to put a little bit of dirt in the bottom, and I'm just going to dig this up. And then what I do is I put it in my basement, and I put it in my patio door window. And then once I have it in the basement, I only water it. I can't remember if it's once a week or once every 2 weeks. I don't water it very often. I think it's once every 2 weeks, if memory serves me correctly, but I'll have to check and let you know for sure. So I'm going to be going around to each of my planters and hanging baskets, and I'm going to be digging up all my geraniums and bringing them into the house to overwinter them as well. So I'll put that in that pot for right now. I'm going to dump this chamomile into my compost. I got some more growing in here into my portulaca too. It just, I don't know. I like the chamomile. I just don't like how it takes over and it just reseeds itself. Is pick some kale. I think I only have one more kale leaf in the house. And I definitely have a ton out here. So I need to pick quite a bit of this. I was thinking I would make that crispy kale rice, and that is another dish that's done in the Instant Pot that we really enjoy. So I'm gonna fill up my basket. Some of these are so big. I use a lot of it in smoothies too. So I think I'll give that to the chickens too. It's not the nicest looking. Oops. Dropped some on the ground. Oops. I'm going to put this on the ground. Make it a little easier. It's too hard to try and hang onto the basket and pick. Yeah, we've got some not great looking ones here. I'm just going to pick them off and give them to the chickens and keep what looks really good. Got lots still though. I'm like barely putting a dent in this. Pick some of these really nice big ones. Holy, that's like such a nice kale. It's so beautiful. I think I'm putting a dent in it this time. And it just keeps growing. Like, I have been harvesting this for the last couple of months, and it just keeps producing more leaves. And it, like I say, it can handle a little bit of that frost. As long as it's not a hard frost, then you're okay. Okay, I'm only digging up one hill of potatoes today. These are still my Yukon Gold. I have 3 plants left of the Yukon Gold that are still of this variety. So I'm going to dig up another one of the Yukon Gold. Still, it's, you know, fairly dry in here. I don't need very many potatoes. I do have quite a few from the ones that I dug up last weekend, I should say. So, but still, there is like absolutely no scab on these potatoes. None whatsoever. This is just a really good soil. Oh, got some more plants here. Just keep digging this up. Oh, I feel another one. Oh, another big one. Really happy with the potatoes so far. Nothing wrong with these, that's for sure. Okay, I guess that's all I'm getting. Not a lot of small ones in this hill, I noticed. I'll dig down just a little deeper. They're mostly bigger size. So push this dirt back up. Now, oh, here's a little one. I lied. A little tiny one there. One little one. And the rest were good sized ones. I'll grab my dried up plant. That's a pretty good, not bad. I'm really happy with the size of these potatoes. So now what I'm doing is I have geraniums in these baskets as well. And I want to remove these geraniums, and the reason I want to do it now is because I'm afraid that if I don't get to them now, I might forget about them being in my hanging baskets because I'm focusing so much on my vegetables and making sure that nothing gets frozen and trying to get it in before things freeze, that I might not pay attention to my plants. Right now, my vegetables are fine in the next week, but the next weekend, again on Friday, they're talking about getting down to 0, but I mean, the last time they said it was going to be -1 and it wasn't, so I'm just gonna keep watching because by Friday, things could change like a dozen times by then. So I just want to focus on the stuff that needs to be done, that I don't want to forget about, and just getting the rest of these geraniums out of my planters. And I have a tray, and I have all these pots. So I just put a little bit of dirt in the bottom of the pot, and then I just take my shovel. I have 2 geraniums here. One is a red, and I'm not sure, I think the other one is a white. And I'm just going to dig around the geranium without disturbing the root and get as much of the root as I can, because I've got a fairly good sized pot. So there's my geraniums. I'm just picking off any of the dead leaves. And then I'll just put it right into this pot and add some potting soil around it. Okay, and I'll get another one. And I'll dig up this other one in here also. I've got quite a bit of stuff around it. Okay. Put some soil around that. And then I have another planter here. And then the rest of this, I'm just going to put this in my compost. I'm not going to hang it back up. There's no point. We're coming to the end of the season. So remember how I was telling you about this indigo rose that you had to wait? How you knew that it was ripe was looking at the bottoms. So that indicates to me that it is ripe. This one is also red at the top. We're gonna try it. Oh my god. The flesh is very sweet. The skin is a little on the chewy side, but the tomato itself is so good. I didn't think I was gonna get any that were ripe. Can't see another one yet. Sometimes cherry tomatoes are like that. Like I've had some that are just, the skins are thin and they're really easy to bite through. And these are not that. It's, oh, some of my indigo rose fell over into this celebrity. These are ripe. Oh, there we go. That's why they fell off. These ones are ripe. Again, we got the little red on the top. So good. So good. Really good. Three more geraniums here on the deck that I actually need to lift and put into pots as well. And then I'll be done putting my geraniums up and getting them downstairs to overwinter them. Look at these pretty straw flowers. I absolutely love the straw flowers. So I brought my geraniums down here into the basement, and I will keep them in this patio door window, and that way they will still get some light. And I'm just going to give them a little dose of some water. And I'll put some in the bottom too. Couple of these, there was just the actual stem. There wasn't a lot of growth on them. So we'll just have to wait and see. And then I'm just gonna fill up the base of this with some water, and I'm gonna fill this up and put some more water in here just so that it can soak it up from the bottom and give it a pretty good watering start for a winter of being downstairs here in the basement. So I'm gonna go. I just want to thank you for joining me. Super short video, just of a mishmash of things that I was doing around in the yard that I wanted to take care of. And thanks for joining me, and we'll talk again soon. Bye for now.